Governor Charlie Baker on Monday gave faith leaders the go-ahead to open immediately, so long as they follow new health and safety precautions tied to COVID-19. But as Commonwealth Magazine reported, worshipers searching for an in-person service this weekend may have limited options. I spoke with Reverend Dr. Douglas Fisher, Bishop of the Episcopal Diocese of Western Massachusetts, about its plans.
We're really erring on the side of caution. We just want to make sure that people feel safe coming to church. And July 1st isn't even a date that we say that we're going to reopen. It's a date when we're going to have stages that lead more closer to reopening. We're talking about the journey going forward is the way we do it.
What were you looking at as you sort of set that as the sort of road mark that you're looking toward as a possible reopen date, as you said?
Sure. We're also trying to look at what medical people are saying and scientists saying, and we just want to err on the side of caution. And by doing it in stages, too, that if the virus were to come back, say in September, we could roll those stages back. So we might be at stage 4 and have to go back to stage 2 based on what's happening on the ground. So we're really just trying to be good neighbors, trying to look after the safety of our communities, knowing that a lot of our members are older, so we really want to be protective of them. So that's the reason that's gone into that. We respect the fact that other faith traditions might be moving more quickly, but so we're erring on the side of caution.
I've noticed that you have a very robust online presence, whether it's your nightly Zoom prayers that you offer your parishioners or a whole host of Sunday services that are held online, either Facebook or Zoom. How quickly were you able to adjust and offer this? It's a very big difference from what people are used to.
It is, and I'm just amazed at my clergy and our lay leaders that they've adjusted so fast. And so we have as you mentioned, a whole variety of different things up there. We actually have more people attending these services than had attended in person in the past. Another dimension of it too is that it's people I think are appreciating prayer that goes on all day long. There's morning prayer, there's noontime, there's evening, there's compline. So it's not just Sunday morning. So there's been a really robust effort on this, and people have responded really well. Well, at the same time, we know that there's some of our members who don't get online. They don't have computers, and so we're also doing a lot just to stay in touch with them. Old-fashioned ways like phone calls, writing notes to people. So we just want to make sure that they do not feel neglected. And I think again, our clergy are doing a great job connecting with their communities.
What have you been hearing from parishioners, either concerns, comments, or ways that they are reaching out to the church? As you said, you're seeing kind of an increase in attendance.
Yeah, they do it in all kinds of ways that are, again, safe. A great sadness that we have is that because of the virus, a lot of times we're not allowed to visit people in hospitals, funeral services, things like that. And the church has always been so great with people at those life and death moments. And so that's been a frustration for myself and for our clergy. But even there, they'll talk to people in the hospital by phone and offer last prayers by phone or by FaceTime. So we can't say this time isn't without challenges, but again, we're really prayerfully looking at those challenges and coming up with energy and spirit to meet those challenges.
Because so many turn to their church community, whether it's the Episcopal Diocese or whatever faith people use to celebrate communion with God, that it is, as you point out, a place to turn to in a time of sadness, but also a place of celebration, whether it's baptism of young people or many other celebrations. How are you helping people through it?
Well, our common phrase is that the church buildings are closed, but the mission of the church is not. The mission of the church is still wide open. So we make contact with people in many different ways. As you mentioned, I have compline every evening at 8:00, and I always sign off compline by saying, make sure you call 2 people in your life tomorrow. Just call 2 people to check up and see how they're doing. So that's a really intentional kind of thing. It's not an aside. It's our main focus, to stay in community with people during this really difficult time. There's a great prayer that I've been using from Martin Luther King Jr. He wrote this prayer in 1968, but it really feels like it speaks to 2020. And the prayer has three parts. And the first part is committing to love God with all our heart, mind, and soul, and love our neighbors as ourselves. And in the second part, he says, and in these times of great tension, when the problems of our world are gigantic in scope and chaotic in detail, we know that you're with us in our going out, in our coming in our lying down, and our rising up. And doesn't that describe it? I mean, we are in a time of the problems are chaotic. The problems are huge in scope. We're not sure exactly what to do, and yet God is still with us. God is still with us. And that's the message of our scriptures, and it's the message of our church. God is still with us, no matter what. I thought Martin Luther King said it perfectly.
So, as you say, so true. And I think that as people have heard these plans from the governor and his suggestions for how to approach this reopening, I think a part of that, as we've seen people say, is that they're missing that opportunity to come together with their church in the physical form on Sundays. I mean, it's great to have virtual gatherings, as I'm sure that you have seen from your experience, from what parishioners have told you, but people are also excited and anxious, if not a little worried, in terms of what it will mean to come back together. As you look at planning toward reopening, and I know that there are steps, as you've said, that you're going to be taking, but are you looking at it as something like that you as the diocese, as the leader of the diocese, will come up with a plan, or are you leaving it up to your individual churches to decide?
Well, that's a great question. It's a both and. We actually came out with directives just last night that have been sent out to our clergy and to our lay leaders about these different 4 stages of coming back. And at the same time, we're asking them to apply those stages to their particular context. So it's actually small churches might be able to come back quicker than bigger churches because it's a smaller group of people. People in different urban or rural contexts, it might make a difference. So what we're doing, it's a both and. We've laid out the guidelines, and then we ask our churches to come back with a plan as to how they're implementing those guidelines in their context.
What about choirs? Music is such a large part of celebrating in church. And the image in my mind of a choir is people are pretty close together. Have you thought about how you might approach that, and how and when music may be folded back into the church celebrations?
That's a huge question. I mean, the science really just in the past month has shown us that singing in choirs need to be far more spaced out than just 6 feet away from each other. So in some of the cases, we could have choirs that are smaller and with that kind of spacing. But even for that, when you see our plan, that doesn't come till stage 3 of this journey, because it is something that can be dangerous. And so we want to really be cognizant of that. For our Pentecost celebration, which is May 31st, we're having a celebration that goes throughout our diocese over Zoom and over Facebook Live. And we've got a choir of over 100 people that are coming together. Their voices will be synced up. The National Church has already done that a couple of times. And it's an incredibly powerful way of praying to hear all those voices. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to hear those voices in person for a while. But again, we ask people to do what Martin Luther King said, to first of all, consider love of neighbor, and then consider how chaotic in detail our time is. And then to recognize that God is present no matter what in all days.